A local pharmacy owner says due to some economic problems and those PBMs, she's going to have to close the doors. I'm Lonnie Walton in Pittsburgh. I'll have that story coming up.
Plus, local and regional libraries gear up for a new read on Carthage native Belle Starr.
What is it like being behind the wheel of a 200-mile-per-hour funny car? I'm Anthony Saviello. The answer to that question coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
After years of serving the community, a Pittsburgh pharmacy is shutting down one of its locations. A tough decision fueled by challenges with middlemen controlling prescription drug plans. This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. Lindbergh Pharmacy in Pittsburgh is closing its location on North Broadway. The owner says the decision didn't come easy, but ongoing struggles tied to pharmacy benefit managers, or PBMs, left her with no other option. We first reported on PBMs back in January, those third-party companies that handle prescription drug plans for insurance providers. But as KOAM's Lonnie Walton reports, many pharmacists argue they do more harm than good.
I enjoy working here in the sense of we're all a family for the same end goal.
Mallory Gosway is a pharmacy clerk at Lindbergh Pharmacy in Pittsburgh. She says she loves working at this independent shop, just like her co-worker Ashley Cross.
We have customers that come in, tell us about their grandkids they just had, their vacations. They know all of us by name.
Ashley and Mallory normally work at 2 locations in Pittsburgh, but according to owner Ashley Wolf, the north location will have to close its doors.
With the PBMs affecting reimbursements and patient choices of where they go, put a strain on independent pharmacies.
Pharmacist Cody York says these PBMs are money-hungry middlemen.
The profits that originally were going from insurance to pharmacies is now being decreased by that PBM. They're keeping more and more of that share.
Sometimes we get reimbursed with some of these contracts below cost of the medication.
This leaves Dr. York in confusion.
I honestly don't know why they're here, why they were even around in the first place.
Wolf says she will still continue to serve her community.
Locations are consolidating to our 909 Centennial location.
So we've been kind of rotating anyways, and so then now it's not going to be so much phone tag as we're all just going to be here together.
And both pharmacists says if you want change, the best thing to do is to speak out about it. Reporting in Pittsburgh, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
Wolf says she plans to consolidate her staff to the South Campus, and the North location will close August 1st. Well, storms are moving into the 4-state area. Meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney joins us now with a first look.
Yep, they are moving along. Now we do have, we dropped our risk for severe weather, but we still have thunderstorms in the area, and they're moving up and along I-44. You can see a couple just to the south of I-44, moving outside of Bentonville into out of our area closer to the Branson side, but moving along towards Oklahoma, moving into Fairland, Grove, Jay as well. Some heavy rain out in Veneta. Now those are going to continue to move northeast up towards Seneca, Missouri as well. Then just moving through the area, more storms developing behind that initial storm. So we are dealing with thunderstorms across the region all the way until about 7, 8 in the morning. It does taper off, but we do have more thunderstorms popping up later in the afternoon. Those are just your heat storms that we get in the summertime because temperatures are getting back up into the low to mid 90s, but I'll have those details coming up.
Thanks, Lindsay. Well, across Kansas City, Missouri, torrential rainfall has triggered dangerous flooding. Early this morning, fire crews performed 18 water rescues for people stranded in their vehicles. Since late Wednesday, more than 5 inches of rain has fallen across Kansas City, marking one of the wettest days on record in July. No injuries have been reported. And first responders managed to save a 4-legged resident from a house fire today in Montgomery County. Reports of a structure fire at 6234 County Road 2300 came in around noon. Neodesha Fire Department rescued a dog from the house and provided a pet oxygen mask. The dog was taken to the veterinary hospital. Well, looking for something to do this weekend, Nitro Chaos hits the track at Mocan Dragway. KOAM's Anthony Saviello takes us behind the scenes as drivers get ready for racing this weekend.
Driving at 200 miles an hour is not a feat that everyone gets to experience in life. However, for Nitro Chaos racers, that's just another day at the track. Racers like Chuck Lofton have been around racing and race cars all their lives. In fact, it's almost as if racing fuel courses through their veins.
It's an adrenaline rush, you know. If you like working on cars, this is the pinnacle of a drag racer, nitromethane.
It's a rush with a 200 mile per hour tag to go along with it. For Chuck, there's no better feeling.
Once I got the taste of victory, it's worse than drugs. Everything you do in life, you have to win at. It doesn't matter what you do, your job, cutting grass better, it don't matter. You always want to be the best.
Believe it or not, his addiction is supported by those he cares for most, including his wife.
She backs me up and feeds the crew and takes care of everything else. And at our shop at Commercial Diesel, she pretty much does the day-to-day operations, you know, and we have a very good crew at Commercial Diesel, allows us to do what we get to do. And but yeah, Angie, she's a winner.
Driving a machine like this also comes along with a driver's seat reminiscent of a jet fighter cockpit.
They molded the seat around me, you know, I put all my stuff on just like I'm gonna race it, and they put the seat all together and the head padding and, you know, make sure I'm sitting in the car correctly.
While most of us may not sit in the driver's seat of a 200 mile per hour funny car, Chuck has a piece of advice we could all learn from.
The person has to have that burning feeling about it. You know, you might not understand it, but after a while in life you realize, you know, it was meant to be. You know, there's no plan. I never planned none of this. It just, I was very fortunate, you know, that I have somebody in my life that helped me achieve a goal and in business and in life, and we have the opportunity to live out the rest of what we have, you know, what we want to do.
Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
Well, tickets are $20 for Friday and $30 for Saturday. Kids 12 and under get in for free. A safety tip for those attending, you may want to bring some ear protection. Well, regional and public libraries take aim at a new book about Carthage native Belle Starr. Belle Starr, the truth behind the Wild West legend, will hit the shelves of local and regional libraries thanks to an anonymous donation of 250 copies. The author, Michael Wallace, is signing each copy of the donated books.
Overwhelmed. You know, it's so important to me that these 250 books from an incredible anonymous donor are going to end up in 3 great Route 66 states, because Route 66 is my road.
Michael Wallace will also be talking about his book at the Livery Drought House at Red Oak 2 tomorrow. While you're there, be sure to check out the Belle Starr House that's located right across the road. Well, coming up, curing cancer.
Inside this cask is some very dangerous radioactive nuclear waste, but believe it or not, it could produce the cure for cancer. We'll explain right after this.
And later, kids at Pittsburgh State are learning construction skills and safety this summer, building birdhouses, doghouses, and more.
Join us at 7 a.m.
The transition to nuclear power may lead to a major breakthrough in cancer treatment. Fox News' Ashley Webster is in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, also known as Atomic City, with more.
It's all about turning nuclear waste that's stored in these giant casks into a potential cure for cancer. And it's happening here at Oak Ridge, the former headquarters of the Manhattan Project that was making the world's very first atomic bomb. But today, they're creating the ultimate recycling story. These technicians work for Atkins Realis Isotech. It's a company contracted by the Department of Energy to extract thorium-229 from highly radioactive nuclear waste left over from the Cold War. It's difficult work, but with a specific goal.
So we extract the thorium, we purify it, then we package it, and TerraPower then gets it so they can create the medical treatments.
TerraPower, a company created by Bill Gates in 2006, then uses the thorium to extract an element called actinium-225. It is complex, time-consuming, and demanding, but the final product shows cancerous cells can be targeted down to the minute level without the side effects of things like hair loss or nausea.
With actinium-225 therapies, we have the ability to precisely deliver the actinium molecule just to where the cancer cells are.
It's the ultimate recycling story. Highly toxic nuclear waste being used to help find a cure for cancer, using a stockpile of dangerous material while saving costs for taxpayers, and all with an end result that could benefit the world.
This has global implications because the amount of actinium that TerraPower will be able to produce from the thorium that we provide could certainly service the globe.
And this is what doctors and researchers are excited about. The image on the left shows a patient riddled with metastatic prostate cancer, but the images on the right show that same patient after being treated with actinium over just a few months. There is already one drug in the third phase of clinical trials and could come to market by the second half of 2027. In Oak Ridge, Tennessee, I'm Ashley Webster, Fox Business.
A new study finds taking more steps per minute, even just 14 extra, can help reduce frailty in older adults. And those who increased their walking cadence saw improvements in endurance, balance, and overall mobility. Researchers recommend using a metronome to set a baseline walking rhythm and then gradually adding 5 to 10 steps per minute over time. Lindsay's next with a complete look at your forecast, and later, defending Ukraine.
American air defense missiles are on their way to Ukraine as Russia steps up attacks. In London, I'm Alex Hogan. I'll have more on this story coming up.
Get your tickets for PCT Culture and Spiva Center for the Arts.
Well, we do have storms ongoing as we head outside. Now, current temperatures are also in the mid-70s, so we're starting to cool down a bit as these storms approach. Now, 77 degrees feels like 78, so we're right on par there. Now, we do have some storms moving in along I-44 and sticking to our southern counties. We've been expecting this. We did drop our severe risk. So we were in a marginal risk for severe weather. We're not in one now, so most of these are just going to be your normal thunderstorms. You can see a lot of lightning with all of that as it pushes into Veneta, Grove, Jay, and then heading towards Seneca, Missouri, though hasn't quite hit the area yet. As you can see, taking a look out in Seneca, Missouri at Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, you see those clouds. They're looking mean, they're looking nasty, but haven't quite made it into the region yet. Now, taking a look at our future tracks. So 10 p.m., so in the next 30 minutes to an hour, they're going to start to push into Arkansas, as you can see, but also into southwestern Missouri. Now, again, most of these are staying below I-44, not really seeing them trek a little bit further south, or further north, so we're looking good there. 11:30, making it into Seneca, making it into Pineville area, out to Cassville, Monette. Those will continue. Again, they're dropping that strength as they get further into the area. So now we're 2 a.m. losing surface heating, losing daytime heating from earlier, not seeing a big threat there. Those will start to pass. We get another little round, could see some strong storms there. You can see just as it moves into Pineville. About 4:30 in the morning, could get a little bit of a loud storm there, but not a severe threat. So all of that tapers off as we head into the morning. We get another couple of isolated chances there in the afternoon. This just comes from, again, that daytime heating. Normally what we see in the summertime, those afternoon pop-up storms. So here we are, 1 p.m. They're very isolated, very small storms that could continue into the area, but really, again, not seeing a severe threat there. Now, temperatures are really going to spike after today. You can see we only got up to mid-upper 80s. We were much cooler today because of that front. 93 on Friday, 94 Saturday, 95 on Sunday, and the heat index is going to be incredibly high. Starting Friday, we're nearing 100 on the Missouri side, even getting up to right at 100. On the Kansas-Oklahoma side, low hundreds, 101 to roughly 103, maybe 104. Might get a couple of heat advisories issued. Definitely going to see that on Saturday. 101 in Joplin, 103 in Pittsburgh, 105 Fredonia, Independence, Sedan. So we could see a heat advisory, especially Kansas and Oklahoma side. And then on Sunday, we're just going to keep seeing temperatures rise, keep seeing the heat index rise because humidity as well. 106 in Joplin, 109 Pittsburgh, Girard, Parsons, Chanute, even getting up to 110 in Fort Scott. So definitely seeing some high temperatures following our storms tonight. Not looking at a severe threat really anymore tonight. Definitely could see wind gusts 40, 50, maybe 55 miles per hour. A lot of lightning, which is definitely dangerous. You don't want to be outside with a big lightning storm, but not a huge threat there. The heat is more going to be the concern as we get into the weekend.
Lightning and wind, that makes me concerned with the trees and stuff,
yeah,
too,
that's very true.
that are already waterlogged.
Yes.
All right, thanks, Lizzie. Well, the Missouri Department of Conservation expands the number of counties required to follow chronic wasting disease regulations to slow its spread. Now, the regulations now cover all Missouri counties in our viewing area except for Dade and Lawrence. And that means landowners and hunters should not leave out food like cattle salt for deer. Conservation agents say anyone caught doing this can be fined, and so far the fines have been about $250. And some landowners and hunters in these counties say it will greatly impact how they prepare for the season.
I would like to see the deer that come onto my place, the lands that I like to hunt on. Of course, everybody wants to see them. Sit on your back porch and watch them in the field of the evening. And now that could drastically change their routes if they know, like, hey, I'm not getting my minerals here. They're going to go somewhere else.
Landowners and homeowners can still have food like bird feeders within 100 feet of their homes or in places deer cannot get into. Well, coming up next, kids at a PSU summer camp are learning construction skills hand-on. Find out how the camp is aiming young people to get excited about building and gaining them real-world experience.
Come to Blue Jean Ball for Children's Advocacy Center.
Hammers, nails, and a drill. A Pitt State camp is teaching kids valuable hands-on construction skills and tool safety. KOAM's Ty Parks takes us to the job site where campers are learning the tools of the trade.
Years ago, Randy Windsor, who does the Adventures in Robotics camp, and we got together, decided to do one morning camp and one afternoon camp in July, and to make them as much hands-on as possible, because kids today just don't get the exposure to the tools and the hands-on stuff.
Pittsburgh State University construction professor James Otter plans this camp with a very clear purpose in mind.
And so our goal is to teach them about tools, connections, and building things the proper way to make things. So during the first week, our first day is all about safety. They all get a hard hat, safety glasses, and then they learn how to run the tools. We start them with a drill. They have to use an air nailer. They use a jigsaw. They cut things out. They understand how to use things safely.
Hands-on is correct. The campers this week have put together bird houses, dog houses, and a bench.
Our objective is just to help young people have something to do in the summertime and to learn. Like today, I gave him a quiz over tools. Oh my goodness, they knocked it out of the park. They probably knew more tools than most adults do. And that's what we want. We want them to get excited about doing construction, but also feel like they know more about construction.
At Pittsburgh State University, Ty Parks, KOAM News.
Well, campers will be leaving with more than just knowledge. They also get to take home their own birdhouse. Up next, it's Third Thursday time in Joplin. We take you downtown for the Waterfest event. It's that time again in downtown Joplin. Third Thursday is back for its 18th season, and this month's theme, as you can see, Waterfest. There were plenty of activities designed to help folks cool off. Now, the city's premier community event runs every year from March through October, bringing together thousands each month to enjoy art, food, music, and family fun every third Thursday.
My personal favorite part is just us being able to experience the community with it. Like, we can go out there and we can go to an event and meet hundreds and thousands of new people and hear different stories and experience them with them.
If you missed out tonight, mark your calendar for the next third Thursday, which is August 21st. A theme for that one, the dog days of summer. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. Russia steps up its strikes on Ukraine, and the U.S. responds with new military aid. And the House takes up a rare bill to slash federal spending, including cuts to foreign aid and public broadcasting.
You're watching the 4 states' most watched news.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. President Trump set a 50-day deadline for a ceasefire in Ukraine, but Russia is still stepping up its attacks across the country. And now American air defense systems are on the way to Ukraine's biggest cities, and NATO's supreme allied commander says it's just the beginning. Fox News' Alex Hogan has the latest.
Another night of heavy Russian airstrikes on Ukraine. This week, Moscow is targeting the country's energy infrastructure, but help is on the way. America's top general in Europe says the delivery of Patriot missiles is now being facilitated through Germany, with the goal of getting them to Ukraine as soon as possible.
Air defense is important on the modern battlefield, and we've seen the scale of recent Russian attacks against Ukraine. So it is a key focus area.
This is the first shipment of new military aid since the U.S. reversed course and began rearming Ukrainians after a brief pause. Earlier this week, President Trump set a 50-day deadline for Russian President Vladimir Putin to stop attacking. But Moscow is brushing that off, claiming Ukraine is dragging out the peace process and Russia can withstand more American sanctions.
We would like to understand what is behind this statement about 50 days. Earlier, there were also deadlines of 24 hours and of 100 days. We've seen it all.
Despite the new tough talk on Russia, President Trump says he's not siding with Ukraine.
You know what the side I'm on? Humanity's side. I want to stop the killing of thousands of people a week.
Meanwhile, Russia is making progress on the front line, capturing more territory in eastern Ukraine, while anxious Ukrainian soldiers plead for more help from the West.
We need the support of the world, because without this, as long as we quarrel, nothing will work out.
President Trump says the new sanctions will go into effect on September 2nd if Russia does not agree to a ceasefire. In London, Alex Hogan, Fox News.
Well, civil rights groups sue to stop ICE arrests at courthouses, alleging they violate federal law. After the Trump administration rescinded guidelines limiting courthouse immigration enforcement, government attorneys reportedly asked judges to dismiss cases based on changed circumstances, allowing ICE to arrest individuals and place them in expedited removal with little legal recourse. And after an early morning vote, the Senate passed a rescissions bill that would cut about $9 billion in already allocated federal funding. Now, Democrats are blasting the legislation because it claws back funds to foreign aid programs and public broadcasting. The House now has to vote on the bill before it can head to the president's desk. Fox's Caroline Shively has more from Washington.
Speaker Johnson,
Yes.
on rescissions, are you confident you can get this passed with all the Senate changes?
Oh yeah, we'll get it passed.
The so-called rescissions bill is now with the House. The measure claws back $9 billion in funding for public broadcasting and foreign aid.
The bill is amended as passed.
The Senate passed it at 2:30 this morning.
Well, we are tracking storms moving through the area, though haven't quite made it to Joplin just yet. Let's go ahead and take a look outside downtown Joplin from the Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex. Again, staying dry out in Joplin for right now. They may not even get any rain at all. As these storms approach, they're going to stay mostly to the south. Now you can see how they're starting to move up and along I-44 and south. Now, Bentonville getting quite a bit of heavy rainfall. They actually do have a flood advisory issued for just south of Bentonville until about 12:30 tonight. Cassville is getting some heavy rain, a lot of lightning as well. Just north of Grove, south of Miami, so Miami's dry, but this is all going to head into Seneca and then Neosho as well. But again, staying mostly just to the south of Joplin. However, we've got clusters of thunderstorms out near the Tulsa area. Those will continue to move along and just to the north, so they may affect the Joplin area over the next couple of hours. So these are the storms currently in our area. You can see how we've got some heavier rain down in Bentonville, but then we've got this cluster of thunderstorms that'll be moving in. They die down once they get in, but still could get some heavy rainfall from that. Now, biggest threat that we're going to see because our risk for severe weather has dropped off. So what we're expecting, a lot of lightning, some gusty winds. As these storms do decay, they collapse on themselves, send out a gust front. We call those, we can go up to 50, maybe 55 miles per hour, so just below severe limits. They're going to continue to move in, but any training storms could also lead to flood risk, especially areas already saturated. So these will continue overnight, so about 2 a.m., starting to see that initial round taper off, dying down a bit. Our second round moving in could get some heavy rainfall. That's down near Pineville, maybe a strong storm. This is about 4:30 in the morning, but then it does taper off again. Now we could have potential for some areas getting flooded. Miami could see up to 2.5 inches of rain. Joplin, as that second round of storms moves in, could see about 1 inch to 1.5 inches of rain as well. And then down near Pineville, about 2.5 inches of rain. Some of these storms dropping about 1 inch to 2 inches an hour. So these are going on for several hours, could get some heavy rainfall. Once we get into Friday, though, heat is really the big story of the weekend and even into next week. 93 Friday, 94 Saturday, 95 on Sunday with heat indices. That means that our humidity paired with the actual temperature is what it's going to feel like outside. 100 in Joplin, 102 in Fort Scott, 103 Fredonia, 105 in Nowata. That's just Friday. It's going to keep getting hotter as we get later into the week. Saturday could definitely see a couple of heat advisories issued, 104 Welsh, Veneta, 105 Independence, Sedan, and Fredonia. But Sunday, things really just ramp up. 110 in Oswego, Welsh. You could see 106 in Joplin, 109 in Pittsburgh. So we're really, I mean, it's just going from one round of, spring season that really got extended well into the summer months to feels like August, just right back to back. So that's what we got going on this weekend.
Tomorrow morning, those AM storms, when should they be out of our area?
By about 8 a.m.
Okay, so you got the day to dry out.
Well, really, really quickly too, because it's going to be in the 90s.
Oh, great. All right, thanks, Lindsay. Well, fair season continues in the 4 states. The Cherokee County Fair welcomed community members for its opening day today. And this morning, 4-H members were busy showing off their hard work and livestock.
When I was younger, my dad asked if I wanted to be in 4-H, and I told him yeah. And then I started off with showing rabbits, and then I wanted to do goats, and now that I'm just having fun with it, so.
The Cherokee County Fair runs through Saturday. Still ahead, we have highlights from the Joplin Outlaws game against the Fort Smith Marshals, plus an update on the Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice investigation after his multi-car accident last year.
On Thursday, the Kansas City Chiefs received some unexpected news on the investigation and legal situation surrounding wide receiver Rashee Rice. This morning, Rice was sentenced to 30 days of jail time and 5 years probation after his involvement in a multi-car accident last year, where police say he was going 119 miles an hour in his Lamborghini. According to the Dallas County District Attorney's Office, the Chiefs receiver has pleaded guilty to 2 third-degree felonies, collision involving serious bodily injury, and racing on the highway causing bodily injury. The judge ruling that Rice could serve the jail time at any point during his probation, and he received deferred adjudication, meaning the case will be dismissed if he completes his probation. As the legal side of things have played out, the NFL will now move towards handing Rice's suspension for his off-the-field actions. According to sources, the Chiefs believe that Rice may get a suspension of 2 to 4 games. On behalf of his counsel, Royce West, Rice released the following statement, in part saying, "Last March, I was involved in a high-speed chase in Dallas. There have been a lot of sleepless nights thinking about the damages that my actions caused, and I will continue working within my means to make sure that everyone impacted will be made whole." The statement continues with Rice saying, "I am profoundly sorry for the physical damages to person and property. I fully apologize for the harm I caused." The Joplin Outlaws dropped both games of their Wednesday doubleheader, marking only the second time this season they've lost back-to-back games. The Outlaws entering tonight with their sights set on getting back in the win column. Outlaws looking to split the 4-game series with the Marshals. Bottom of the first, Joplin trailing 4-0. Landon Midget grounds one up the middle. Rayvon Morgan will come in to score from third. Midget gets on base with an error. Lead cut 4-1. Later in the inning, now 4-2. Garrett Springer hits a chopper through the left side. Midget rounds third, and he'll score on an RBI base knock from Springer to cut the deficit to 1 run. Home half of the second, Jace Midget on third after getting on base with a walk. And this pitch gets away from Tucker Christian behind the plate. Midget scores to tie the game. And after trailing by 4 runs early on, the Outlaws lead 9-5 in the top of the 8th, closing in on the win. The Nevada Griffins trying to hold on to their final spot in the Mink League playoffs, leading Jefferson City 10-4 in the home half of the 8th from Lions Stadium. The Major League All-Star Game and weekend has come and gone with, my opinion, the best game in recent history. So let's take a look at the top moments from Atlanta. Starting off with the ABS challenge system, with Tarek Skubal challenging a called ball, getting it overturned for a strikeout against Manny Machado. I think we'll be seeing this more and more, and I think it should be good for the game as well. My second moment is Clayton Kershaw getting a roaring ovation in what could be his final All-Star game. He's one of the best pitchers of all time, and in my opinion, he deserved that recognition. One of my favorite things in the All-Star Game is having players mic'd up while they're playing, and he was mic'd up too, so that made it a lot more fun. And you can't forget about the home run derby swing-off. After a massive comeback from the AL, having all the players go crazy with moonshots launched by stars made this game, in my opinion, the best of my lifetime, especially with the performance from Kyle Schwarber, seeing that Reggie Jackson style finish. But the best moment from this year's All-Star Game was the on-field tribute to Hank Aaron, celebrating his historic 715th career home run on the date, 7/15. He passed the great Babe Ruth in homers with that swing, and his wife was there for the celebration as well.
That's pretty cool.
It was really cool to watch. I was watching, I was like, what's going on? And then I realized what they were doing. It was really, really cool. Then there was an angle with his wife watching. It was really special to see.
And it was good to see the Outlaws doing well again tonight.
Yeah, bouncing back, lost both yesterday, but looks like they're closing in on a win.
All right, thank you so much. And we're back with more news after this. With more vacation-bound people hitting the streets for summer road trips, civil engineering experts are sharing data that could help make these journeys safer and more effective. And it may involve avoiding left turns. Fox News' Gary Baumgarten takes a closer look.
Hitting the streets this summer, you won't be alone. Recent data from Deloitte finds more Americans are planning summer travel this year compared to last, and more are opting for road trips.
If you look at sort of the traffic patterns throughout the year, the summer months we have the most vehicle miles traveled, and with that additional vehicle miles traveled, there come more crashes, more fatalities, more serious injuries.
But if your journeys involve heading through cities, there may be a method to help reduce the risk for accidents.
So the idea that we have is to eliminate left turns in downtown streets, particularly downtowns with sort of like a grid-like pattern.
According to Vikash Gaya, professor of civil and environmental engineering at Pennsylvania State University, about 61% of crashes at intersections involve a left turn.
The reason that the left turns are so dangerous is that you have a vehicle that's turning in front of the path of oncoming traffic, where the driver of the left-turning vehicle has to judge when there's a sizable gap in order to make that left turn. If they misjudge that, they get hit by that oncoming traffic or hit the oncoming traffic.
On average, cars avoiding left turns in urban areas will travel about an extra block to reach their destinations, but this doesn't always mean added time to the trip.
By simplifying the signal timing at the intersection, you're going to travel through more intersections, one more intersection on average, but you're going to spend less time stopped at each intersection. And that has huge advantages because it means that you'll actually get to where you want to go faster.
Gary Baumgarten, Fox News.
Well, up next, Stranger Things, Black Swan, and more. A look at what's coming soon to screens in Hollywood Nation. There are several first looks in today's Hollywood Nation, including the 5th and final season of Stranger Things. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin with more.
We put this into this.
Yes, yes! Hoppers jump in, Black Swan returns, and go back to the Upside Down in the Hollywood Nation. Today's first looks start in Hawkins, Indiana. Netflix released a teaser for the 5th and final season of Stranger Things. It's 11 and friends versus Vecna, the government searching for 11 and one last showdown in 3 parts, beginning November 26th. Volume 2 premieres December 25th, then it wraps up December 31st.
He's had an imagination to do things differently.
A trailer was released for Andrea Bocelli, Because I Believe. The documentary about the classical tenor gives a behind-the-scenes glimpse into his life with archival footage and interviews. It's in theaters September 21st and 24th. Disney and Pixar are jumping into the excitement for hoppers. A new trailer shows animal lover Mabel trying a new technology which allows her to communicate with animals. The animated adventure heads to theaters March 6, 2026.
I danced the Black Swan.
Searchlight Pictures partnered with IMAX for Black Swan 15th anniversary exclusive, remastered for IMAX. The psychological thriller starring Natalie Portman as a ballerina on the brink of fame will be on over 200 screens August 21st and 24th.
Here we go.
Julia Roberts, Io Debris, and Andrew Garfield star in After the Hunt. From director Luca Guadagnino, the psychological drama follows a college professor at a crossroads when a star student brings an accusation against one of her colleagues, threatening a dark secret from her own past to resurface. The film starts its run October 10th, then expands October 17th. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
And that's our time for tonight. Thank you for joining us. We're going to leave you with video of a hippo sleeping underwater at the Milwaukee County Zoo. Have a great night and an even better tomorrow.